Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the English Vision podcast. I'm your host, John, and I'm here with my wonderful co-host, Sarah. Today, we are talking about a topic that makes almost everyone nervous. We are talking about job interviews, specifically how to succeed in a corporate job interview in the United States.
Hello, everyone. I'm very happy to be here, John. I have to admit, interviews are very scary for me. Even in my first language, they are difficult. But doing a job interview in English feels impossible sometimes. I always worry I will use the wrong vocabulary or forget my words because of the stress.
That is a completely normal way to feel, Sarah. A lot of non-native speakers tell me the exact same thing. The pressure is already high, and when you add a second language to the mix, it is a lot of mental work. But today, we are going to change that. We have an interview masterclass for our listeners. By the end of this episode, you will learn 3 specific phrases you can use to answer almost any difficult interview question and really impress the hiring managers.
3 phrases, just 3. That sounds very helpful. But is a US job interview really that simple to pass? Also, can you explain what a hiring manager is? Is that just the boss?
Great question. A hiring manager is the person at the company who is requesting the new employee. Usually, yes, it will be your future boss or the leader of your future team. They are the person who makes the final decision to give you the job. And to answer your first question, no, the interview is not simple, but these 3 phrases act like a safety net. They are frameworks. A framework is a basic structure. You memorize these 3 structures and you simply add your own personal experience into them. They instantly make you sound professional, confident, and advanced.
I understand a framework is like a recipe. You have the basic instructions and you just put your own ingredients inside. I like that. So, how do we start? What is the first part of the interview?
The beginning of almost every American job interview starts with a very broad question. The interviewer will say, "Tell me about yourself," or "Why do you want to work for this company?"
Oh, I hate the tell me about yourself question. I never know what to say. Should I talk about my university, my family, my hobbies? It is too open.
Exactly. It is a trap for many people because they start telling their whole life story. In a US corporate interview, they only want to know about your professional story and why you're sitting in that chair today. So this brings us to phrase number 1. Are you ready?
I have my notebook ready. What is the phrase?
The first phrase is, "What drew me to this role is." I will say it again. What drew me to this role is.
What drew me to this role is, okay, I know the word draw, like drawing a picture with a pencil, but drew me to, does that mean what pulled me here?
That is a perfect translation, Sarah. In advanced English, when something draws you to a place or an idea, it means it attracts you. It caught your attention. Using drew me to sounds much more natural and professional than simply saying, "I want this job because..."
So instead of saying, I want this job because I like your company, I should say, what drew me to this role is your company. Is that correct?
You are halfway there. You have the phrase perfect, but we need to make the ending stronger. You want to connect your past experience to their current need. Let us practice. Let us imagine you are applying for a job as a marketing manager at a big technology company. I am the hiring manager. I ask you, Sarah, why are you interested in working with us?
Okay, let me try. What drew me to this role is my background in marketing and your company's amazing new software products. I want to help sell them.
That is very good. It is clear and polite, but let us elevate the vocabulary just a little bit to make it sound like a native professional. Instead of saying, "I want to help sell them," you could say, "I'm looking to leverage my marketing background to help grow your new software products."
Leverage. I hear this word a lot in business videos. What exactly does leverage mean in this situation?
In physics, a lever is a tool you use to lift something heavy. In business English, to leverage something means to use a skill or a resource you already have to achieve a new goal. So, when you say you want to leverage your marketing background, you're telling the company that you're bringing a strong tool to help lift their business.
Wow, I love that. It paints a very strong picture. Let me say the whole sentence again. What drew me to this role is the opportunity to leverage my marketing background to help grow your software products.
Perfect. You sound completely fluent, confident, and you immediately told the hiring manager exactly how you add value to their team. You answered the question perfectly using phrase number one.
Thank you. I feel more confident already. So after the introduction, what happens next in the interview?
Next, the interviewer will usually ask behavioral questions. This means they want to know how you acted in the past to predict how you will act in the future. They usually start with, "Tell me about a time when you had a problem," or "Give me an example of a challenge you faced."
Yes, these are the hardest questions. It is hard to think of a good story quickly, and then it is hard to explain the story in English without getting lost in the details.
That is exactly why we need phrase number two. When they ask about a past problem, they do not actually care about the problem, they care about how you solved it. So phrase number two is your bridge to the solution. The phrase is, "I took the initiative to."
I took the initiative to initiative. That means taking action before someone tells you to do it, right?
Spot on. Taking the initiative is one of the most highly valued traits in American corporate culture. Employers want people who see a problem and try to fix it without waiting for their boss to give them permission.
So I tell them a very short story about a problem, and then I use this phrase to show my action. Can we practice this one?
Absolutely. Let us do another simulation, Sarah. Tell me about a time you had to deal with a difficult client or a difficult project.
Okay, in my last job, we had a client who was very angry because their project was delayed. The team was just ignoring the client because they were scared. So I took the initiative to call the client directly. I apologized for the delay and gave them a clear timeline for when we would finish.
That is excellent. You used the phrase perfectly. Notice how you did not spend 5 minutes complaining about the angry client or the scared team. You spent 10 seconds on the problem, and then you pivoted right to the solution using our phrase. I took the initiative to call the client directly.
It makes the story feel very clean and organized. It stops me from rambling. Rambling means talking too much about useless things, correct?
Exactly. Rambling is the enemy of a good job interview. Phrase number two forces you to stop rambling and focus on your professional action. I took the initiative to redesign the website. I took the initiative to organize a team meeting. It works for almost any problem.
I'm writing this down in big letters. I took the initiative to, okay, John, we have done the introduction. We have answered the difficult story questions. We must be near the end of the interview now.
We are. The end of the interview is crucial. This is your last chance to leave a strong impression. The interviewer will usually ask if you have any questions, or they might just say, "Why should we hire you over the other candidates?"
This is the part where I usually just say thank you and leave because I'm so tired, but I know that is a mistake. How do I finish strong?
You finish strong by connecting your skills directly to their goals one last time. This is phrase number three. The phrase is, "I am eager to bring my experience in this specific skill to help your team achieve this specific goal."
Let me repeat that. I am eager to bring my experience in blank to help your team achieve blank. Eager means very excited and willing, right?
Yes, eager is a fantastic word. It shows passion and energy, but it sounds much more professional than just saying, "I'm very excited."
Okay, let me try to use phrase number 3 to close our imaginary interview. We are pretending I'm applying for the marketing manager job at the software company.
Yes, I am the hiring manager, and I say, "Sarah, we have interviewed several great people today. Why do you think you are the right person for this position?"
Well, John, based on our conversation today, I'm eager to bring my experience in digital marketing to help your team achieve your goal of launching this new software to a global market.
Brilliant. That is a perfect closing statement. Let us break down why that was so good for our listeners. First, you started by saying, "Based on our conversation today, this shows you were actively listening to me during the interview." Second, you used the phrase, "I am eager to bring my experience in digital marketing." You confidently stated your value. And finally, you connected it to my goal, launching the software to a global market.
It feels very powerful. It feels like I'm not just asking for a job, but I'm offering a partnership. I'm offering to help them.
You hit the nail on the head, Sarah. You hit the nail on the head is an English idiom that means you are exactly right. The secret to US corporate interviews is shifting your mindset. You are not a student hoping for a good grade. You are a professional, offering a solution to a company's problem. These three phrases force you to speak like a problem solver.
Let us review the 3 phrases one more time so everyone can practice at home.
Good idea. Phrase number 1 for the beginning of the interview. What drew me to this role is.
What drew me to this role is.
Phrase number 2 for behavioral and problem-solving questions. I took the initiative to.
I took the initiative to.
And phrase number 3 for closing the interview with power. I am eager to bring my experience in blank to help your team achieve blank.
I'm eager to bring my experience